Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about how to use the remedial measures. How does the remedial measure work? Now many people see astrology as a fatalistic science, as what will happen will happen. No, astrology is not a fatalistic science. Astrology is dealing with the karma. Karma is how to deal with the samskara and the vasana. Samskara is the habit pattern. The vasana is the memory pattern. The memory pattern and the habit pattern can be changed by a variety of methods, but more so using the Devata yoga. So how does this remedial measure work? First thing is, remedial measure works like a gym. The remedial measure works with the volume and the repetition across. Now many people don't understand this simple truth that remedial measure requires volume and repetition. You are going to light the lamp. Now it is not going to have an impact in a manner. It's not going to have an impact if you're going to do once in a while. Now I have seen many clients when they deal with me as a person, when I ask them to light the lamp, do the remedies, they say only on Saturdays should we do this particular remedy. Only on Thursdays should we do this particular remedy. No, the remedy has to be done every day and the remedy has to be done in huge volume. Suppose you light a small lamp, the impact is going to be less. If you are going to light a big lamp, the impact is going to be more. So the entire remedial measure is like going to a gym. You go to a gym, you do the repetition every day, you do it in volume. You try to increase the volume as much as possible across. Now this will have an impact. So the first common mistake people do in the remedial measure is not doing in volume, not doing in repetition. Many people don't believe in ritual. They believe in their mind, they believe in their speech, tactics, intention, feeling, and situation and circumstances. All this thing can be altered only if you do the repetition in volume and repetition. Any remedial measure which does not work on the volume and on the repetition is not going to have an impact. The earlier astrologers used to do a lot of volume. For example, one day they'll give you 10,000 homam. One day they'll give you 20,000 homam. Like that it is there. But my principle is very, very simple. You can do the volume and you can do the repetition, which will have a very, very significant impact into your remedial measure. So this is the first mistake. The second thing is, remedial measure are like homeopathy medicine. It will first stir up a lot of things and then out of that the good things will happen. First the poisons will come out. Then it is like a kind of a detoxification process. It is like a panchakarma process where the toxins come out of the system, and then you would be able to go into the next level of energy across. It is like breaking up the energy pattern, breaking up the habit pattern. So if you are doing a remedial measure to avoid change, to avoid growth, to avoid variety of things, it's not going to have so much of impact than doing for the growth across. Suppose somebody X or Y does the remedial measure for the growth of the job, he would be very, very successful in that. But if somebody does the remedial measure on just sticking onto the job, staying onto the job, then it would be probably not so be effective across. So do remedial measures for positive growth oriented things. You will see the impact is very, very momentous. There was a guy who came to me and he asked me, can I do remedies for my career across? My career seems to be on a stagnating point. I am unable to grow fast in my career. I have a problem in my career. Can I do that? I asked him to light a lamp, and over a period of 2 years, I could see significant difference in the career. First thing is, earlier he was struggling in the company to make a name. The second thing is, he was finding it very difficult to get the orders. He was into marketing. The more he started doing the remedy continuously, lot of good things started happening across. He started having a lot of good results across. He was able to close the orders, he was able to get the new orders, he was able to get the new clients across. Whatever he was speaking was the client got convinced across. Whatever he was thinking to propose to the management to talk about it, they started speaking, and he started working with the link and sync with the boss. That synchronicity with the boss and the linking and the syncing was not there earlier. So remedial measure kind of works for positive things more easily than for the negative avoidance of the thing. The other important thing is the remedial measure works on the energy part of it. That is the biggest problem, and it takes time on the form level to show the impact across. For example, somebody is doing for their marriage, it will be mainly that will be like it will happen step by step. New proposal will come, good proposal will come, likable proposal will come, and that kind of opens up a lot of things with people, and then the proposal will start going into the next level of talking from phone to meeting in the YouTube, meeting in the social media, to meeting in person across. Like that, it will start opening across as a person. Now this is very, very important changes which will happen step by step in the remedial measure. It's the miracle happens, but the speed in which the step by step happens seems to have a tremendous impact. It's not going to happen in one go, it's not going to happen in one shot. This will happen where step by step process of thing will be there. And the second thing is the solution will happen. The solution energy will start happening across. Earlier, there was no solution, there was no insight, there was no progress across. For example, there was a guy who wanted to get married across, but he was finding it very difficult to marry because he was bored. He was hesitating whether to go to the doctor, whether to go into the hair implant, all that thing he was thinking. And suddenly there was a man who came across and who told him that they can do the hair implant part of it, and he has been very successful. So the guy got convinced and went into the hair implant, and he was able to do the what you call it as the hair implant. He got the correct link, correct number, correct place to do the hair implant part of it, and he went ahead and he did it, and it turned out to be very successful. And immediately he got, after 6 months his hair grew up, he was able to connect to a woman, and he was able to get married across. So the point is, a remedial measure happens step by step, and there are things which normally would have taken a lot of time to happen, but the whole process speed is something which will get accelerated. So that is the problem with the people. When people come into remedial measure, they are very desperate, they are very miracle oriented. Now it is not something miraculous. It happens step by step, stages and phases happens, and over a period of time it is like a gym. It will have a tremendous impact into the system across. Now, there was a guy whom I suggested the remedial measure to do the puja for 120 days. He asked me why 120 days. I said it takes time to have an impact, and it takes 2 mandalas to have an impact across. So that is the problem. Now, many people say 11 days, 12 days, 27 days. It does not work. It takes around 120 days for the remedial measure to have a very, very significant impact. And this can have, if you do it continuously for 120 days, this will have a tremendous amount of impact into your life across. So that is also the biggest problem, where people try to do it for 10 days, 11 days and expect a miracle. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it just does not happen. Thank you.